Children with varied physical abilities are capable in many aspects of their lives, but many are dependent on their caregivers. These caregivers are often very capable of taking care of their children and do an amazing job doing so, but it can be difficult, both mentally and physically. A lot of caregivers are not prepared for their child to be born with physical disabilities, so the learning and adjusting period can be especially challenging. Caring for a child with a disability results in an increased chance of having depression, anxiety, a sleeping disorder, and migraines than caring for a child without a disability. The mental skills this video teaches can be used by all caregivers, but we wanted to create a resource for this group of caregivers that face unique challenges.
And you have those challenges of not knowing what to do with your children.
Yeah, it was very challenging to deal with the whole medical invasion.
It was a full-time job for me, advocating for my kid and trying to find the right help.
You don't know how to look after them and know their needs when they can't actually tell you what's wrong.
Self-talk can be a helpful skill to know. It can help improve self-belief and confidence, reduce stress, and teach persistence. It is a cognitive strategy in which cues are used to activate appropriate and preferred responses. So how does it work? Self-talk is how people think to themselves and the implications that these words have. To start using self-talk as a mental skill, you can pick some go-to phrases to say to yourself when you are having a hard moment, are frustrated, or get angry. Make sure your phrases are present tense and are meaningful to you. What are some keys to self-talk?
In language, we're learning the language of success, the language of optimism, and taking personal responsibility, setting goals, getting things done, and directing our futures. The key to self-talk, and the key to all programming, is repetition.
Along with repetition, Mike's produced a set of rules for creating self-talk. The rules are to keep phrases short and specific, use the first person and present tense, construct positive phrases, say phrases with meaning and attention, and speak kindly to yourself. Your self-talk influences your behaviours and self-efficacy. So it is important to have self-talk that instills belief in yourself.
But if you don't believe that you're capable of being a hero, if you don't change that skewed internal representation of yourself, if you don't say to yourself and believe you are capable of the extraordinary, now have some fun.
What should you do if you catch yourself having negative self-talk?
Check your thoughts. Whenever you recognize that you're thinking negatively, take a step back and consider how to reword things in a gentler or more positive way.
One way to do this is by adding yet to negative self-talk. For example, I am not strong enough to do this yet. Think about an instance recently where you felt strong emotions such as frustration or anger, with yourself or your child, where you doubted yourself, or where you felt defeated. What kind of self-talk did you have? Think about a way to adjust this to be more positive, or think of a new phrase altogether that you could start saying to yourself in these moments. You already constantly talk to yourself throughout the day, and learning positive self-talk is possible.
We talk about ourselves to ourselves all the time. But it's when we turn those negative phrases, those negative comments, into something more positive. It's hard. It's very hard. I'm not going to lie to you, but it can be done. I've had to do it. And when I say it has to become my morning, my afternoon, and my night, that's what gets me through the day. So yes, I talk to myself a lot.
Here is another mental skills training tool. Do you experience insomnia, anxiety, fatigue, low back pain, or other musculoskeletal pain? Caregivers of special healthcare needs children are more at risk for musculoskeletal problems. One technique that can be used to combat these symptoms is breath control. Breath control is of the quickest and most effective anxiety and activation control exercises. Making focused breathing a habit connects your awareness of stress and activation to lived experiences.
We breathe in and out thousands of times each day without thinking about it. But paying attention to our breathing in stressful moments can quiet the busyness of the mind and relax the body. This video will lead you in a type of breathing exercise called belly breathing. Belly breathing reduces the activity in the part of our brain that senses fear, anger, and frustration, and helps to quiet anxious feelings. The other advantage of belly breathing is that it can be done anytime, anywhere, even in public. No matter where you are, you can use what you learn in this video to calm the body and the mind.
Practicing breathing exercises has been shown to improve anxiety and sleep quality. This in turn positively impacts chronic low back pain and other musculoskeletal problems.
Usually you don't even think about breathing because it happens automatically thanks to our body's autonomic nervous system. When you're faced with a difficult challenge, whether psychological or physical, your sympathetic nervous system, one branch of the autonomic nervous system, gets triggered. The sympathetic nervous system prepares your body for action, that fight or flight response, which makes your heart beat faster and opens up your airways so you can breathe more easily and take in more oxygen. However, how we breathe can actually trigger this fight or flight response. For example, when you're feeling nervous or anxious, you tend to tense up and your breathing can start to become more rapid and shallow, known as hyperventilation. You may even hold your breath. If we're breathing under stress over long periods of time, cells in the brain and the body don't get the oxygen they need and can't work as efficiently. So even though breathing happens automatically without us even having to think about it, we can override that to control our breathing voluntarily. This means that we can control the quality of our breathing. Increasing oxygen levels activates the rest and digest branch of the autonomic nervous system, called the parasympathetic nervous system. Activating the parasympathetic nervous system creates a sense of mental calmness and counteracts the effects of stress and the stress hormone cortisol. There have been numerous studies on how breathing patterns reflect emotions, because emotions and the way that the body responds are very interlinked. So typically, if you're feeling angry or stressed, your breathing will be more shallow and rapid. On the other hand, if you're feeling content and happy, your breathing will be deeper and slower.
Let's practice.
So let yourself settle. Let the eyes softly close. Take a moment as you're here to feel the feet firmly planted into the ground, maybe feel the sit bones dropping in if you're seated. Start to feel the spine lengthening up to the sky as you take a deep breath in. Start to feel the shoulders softening down the back. Start to soften the muscles into the neck, into the face, into the jaw. Take a moment here. Begin to allow yourself permission to let go. To let go of everything outside of this space. Let go of anything that might have happened before this very moment. Let go of anything that you might have to do afterwards. Let go of any judgments, any expectations about yourself and of this practice. Begin to bring your awareness to your breath. To the deep sensations of the breath. Notice the rise of your chest as you inhale. Notice the dropping back down as you exhale. Begin to bring in a sense of peace, calmness, serenity on your inhale. Begin to let go, tension, fear, anxiety. Exhale. Allow your internal vision to move your breath throughout your body. Take 5 deep breaths in. Take 5 deep breaths out. Slowly begin to blink the eyes open and close as you transition back to this room.
Thank you for watching. We hope you try to implement positive self-talk and breath control into your life. The more you practice, the better you will get. We believe in you and you should too.